Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dr. Ollie Show, where we will have special guests, hot topics, and unexpected surprises. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Dr. Ollie Show, where yours truly will be your host. On today, I'd like to invite you to open your hearts and clear your minds as we dive into our topic. The topic today is life after losing a child. And so I've invited two very special guests here with me on today, and they're going to both express to us what life has been like. This right here, it could be something that has occurred for people that have lost a child or some that have children. I think for a parent, that may be one of the biggest fears of what may take place if they ever lost one. And so put your hands together once again and help me to welcome our very first guest, Miss Ann Bowens. So how are you doing on today?
Good.
You doing good?
I'm doing good.
How was your trip?
It was wonderful.
That's good, that's good.
Yes.
So I just want to thank you just publicly. And before we even get started with anything, just on camera, let everyone know that a number of the questions that are going to come today have not been things that we've really rehearsed or anything like that.
Yeah.
Everything is genuine. So one of the reasons why I wanted to invite you to be able to come and to be a part as far as this show is because I didn't know your daughter, but I got an opportunity to be able to just hear great things about her. And how long has it been since she passed away?
17 years.
Okay, what was her name?
Ollie Show.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Alicia Tremaine Bowens,
you know,
yes.
that's what I thought it was. I didn't want to say the wrong name because
Right.
I know you personally, but
Yes.
I never got a chance to be able to meet her.
Yes.
Just tell me a little bit about her as far as what type of person she was.
Well, just ironically, before I do that, it was 17 years ago today
Oh my God.
that, no, not that she passed, but that we did her service.
That you did the service.
That we did her service.
So it was around
her
this time
homegoing
of the
service.
year?
It was the 10th of,
Oh wow.
10th of July that we did her service.
Okay.
And actually, she had been in the hospital 25 days. She lived 25 days. She was 18-wheeler hit from behind.
Okay.
Hit her from behind. Actually, she'd been up here in Fort Worth doing a recording with Just Praise. They were They were getting ready for a concert.
Okay.
And they were taking some friends home who lived in Kilgore, because she lived in Longview. And the 18-wheeler, the guy, he fell asleep behind the wheel. And they were at a red light. So he hit them from behind. And anyway, she was in the hospital for 25 days.
Was that something that at that time when she had got hit, did the doctors, did they already know that it's a possibility she may not make
I think she broke her neck, actually.
Oh, wow.
The seatbelt she had the seatbelt on, and so had she not had a seatbelt on, then she would have been, and she was asleep when they were hit.
Okay, so it was multiple people in the car?
Yes.
How many was it?
4 of them.
4.
They were letting Brandy Johnson was off. She was doing a praise dance, so that's why, along with the recording.
Okay. So was Brandy Johnson with them?
She was with them in the car. No, they had let her out.
Oh,
they had let Brandy out.
Okay.
Yes. Norman, my godson, Norman Roberts. He was the driver, and Carl Mitchell lived in Longview. He was also. So it was those 4 that were in the car.
Okay.
Yeah, they were sustained just minor injuries. They were okay, but she
was the main
sustained the worst.
Only one that had lost her life right there.
During that time.
So who was the first person to reach out to you after this took place?
I think Phyllis Nelson, actually.
Okay.
Because they took her to Kilgore to the hospital, because that's where the accident happened.
Yeah.
So she called, and they came to Longview, picked me up, took me to Good Shepherd, where she was. And but I guess the amazing thing was, when I saw her, she said, "Mama, you know what? God's going to get the glory out of this." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Well, amen," you know. And he did get the glory. impacted a lot of people. She was very positive, even during her injury. She, she was paralyzed.
Okay.
But when people would come in, she was like, "Hey, how y'all doing?" And one of the things she told, my godchildren, because I guess everybody just kind of said, "Okay, we're saying we're gonna take care of you." She said, "Y'all better take care of my mama." And so I think a lot of them now, they still think they're my boss.
Yeah,
they're,
the boss of you.
Yeah, they think they're my boss, and they keep up with me. And if I'm, they think, "Oh, you're not supposed to be doing that. We're taking care of you," So, which is really awesome. I thank God for the people that were around her that have kind of just really embraced me.
Yeah.
The church family was awesome. At New Birth, they were there. They were just every step of the way until, up until she passed. And even still now, they're still there, help to encourage me. So that's what helps me to be strong, just knowing that every time I see some of them, they were like, and I guess we go back and we think about, the things that were funny, the things that she did. So that just kind of, that helps me even to keep her alive. And so I really haven't had a chance to really be
down,
sad. I mean, if sometimes I'm sad, but then I remember sometimes when I would be maybe depressed and she was talking to her, she said, "Mama, we ain't having that. Don't do that."
Was this your only daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We have 2 stepdaughters, but yeah, she's my only biological daughter.
Okay. So,
she said, "Mama, we ain't having that." And so I remember now when I started, kind of getting sad or something, she said, "We ain't having that." So, I know she's okay, and I believe in her passing that she passed, and she passed in peace. And knowing that, my mom will be all right.
yeah.
I'm all right.
So when I remember when I did invite you to be able to come and be a part of this. Now, one thing you did say to me was, as far as when it came down to the grieving process, that you just kept going the whole time, just about. So would you say that you never did really get a chance or opportunity
I think,
to deal with it?
Being in the church, of course, God, just praying against God to giving me strength. At that time, really busy working in the church, directing the choir, being on the praise team. So
you just never stopped?
I never stopped.
Wow.
I never stopped. And still haven't
until this time. That's what I was just about to say. So even up until now, it's just been on the go.
I don't know, when you say grieving, I guess I don't.
Well, I mean, what I mean
is,
there are some people, they take time out, and don't really do anything. And so I think you did answer it more along the lines of, like you said, you never did get that free space to just say that I don't want to do anything. I'm shutting completely down.
Yeah, no.
I'm just, and so you just kept going.
I kept going
the entire time.
So if I ever, and like I said, her friends, the church members, they were encouraging, and so that's what kept me going. The church members helping me get through it and walking through it, and with God's strength. His strength, it's definitely his strength, because without his strength and his help, I never would have made it even this far.
Now, this is another thing, and we hadn't really went a whole lot deeper into this right here, but you've lost multiple close loved ones to you. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it a number of years ago you had a grandson?
Yes.
What took place?
About 4 years ago. That was he was a victim of someone trying to rob him, and anyway, they shot him.
They shot him.
Yes.
And you still kept going.
Still kept going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even through that, but I guess just praying that they did catch the people that did it. Yes. Okay. So which is that usually sometimes that doesn't even happen. People are still looking for people that have.
Yeah.
So within about 2 or 3 years, they did get the victims.
Okay.
During the time that Alicia passed, another one of the young ladies, they sang in a group together, Trini and Company.
Gotcha.
She passed. She was hit by a car.
Okay.
I had a cousin when we came to Newbirth, Norman and I, he had gone to Portland, and he said, okay, and just come and help me out. Well, he never made, actually he passed while Alicia was in the hospital.
Okay.
And he was a cousin, so in the span of about 9 months,
Yeah.
or close to a year, there were about nine people. My brother passed, and so my son Jason was like, Mom, I can't take any more of this. I said, Jason, we can. I said, God's gonna make it
Stronger to
through
be able
this,
to get
and
through.
He's gonna make us get through. So through all of those, some of them were natural, some of them were, just like people you didn't expect. You didn't expect a cousin at 23-year-olds to pass of a heart attack,
Right.
just not being sick or anything like that, or
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you could say something to her as of now, you've had so much time in between. I mean, you said it's been about 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
What would be something, if she was here with you as of now, that you would like to be able to share?
What would I say? I would say thank you for being who you were, because she was such a vivacious person. She always said what she sought out to do, that's what she did.
Yeah.
Just an example. She says, Mom, I'm tired of you we're driving this old raggedy car. We're gonna go to the dealership and we're gonna get you a car. I'm like, Alicia, my credit is horrible. She was like, don't worry about that. We're gonna pray about it and we're gonna go. Went to the dealership, of course she's talking to the people like, my mama need a car and y'all gonna get my mama a car. So it ended up, actually, I drove off the lot, no down payment.
And you got the
She
car.
said, see, Mama, you just gotta believe. So whatever she set out to do
Yeah.
and believed that she would do, she did that.
Okay.
So I would say, Alicia, thank you for really instilling in me that anything is possible and that you can do anything and don't give up whatever the situation is. So that's
it.
that's what I say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All great answers and everything. Well, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. At this time, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut to a commercial break. And when we come back, I have our second guest, and I'm gonna bring her out, and we're just gonna kind of collab a little bit, all three of us, and just continue with this conversation. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back once again. And today we've been having a discussion about life after losing a child. We've heard a lot of valuable information, but I have a second guest that's here. And so everyone put your hands together and help me welcome Miss Ella Mae Walker. How are you doing on today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing well. You want to go ahead and just introduce yourself, let everyone know where you're from?
First, I want to thank you for inviting me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to say that I'm from Kilgore, Texas. I'm the pastor of Holy Prayer Apostolic Church. And I'm happy to be here today.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'm the mother of I had 3 children, and I now have 2.
You have 2 children. And so I can remember this because it's been this month. It's just so ironic, I'm going to tell you something, with both of you, that you stated that we're at that time frame when it occurred, as far as with your daughter, and then also with your son, which we hadn't really dived into just yet. But he passed away around this time of the year. And I mean, honestly, when I invited you guys to come, I didn't know about yours at all, but I didn't even think about your situation. And so this year makes, what, a total of 8 years?
Yes, he died in
2013.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so he passed away in 2013. And did you ever discover what it was from?
He had high blood pressure and heart, and he did not like to go to the doctor.
Okay.
Most men do not like to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a sudden thing that came upon him.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get him to go, but he wouldn't go. And I left one day going, I had somewhere to go. And just as I left, I told him bye. And he was just standing on the car, sitting there on the car looking at me. And by the time I got where I was going, I got a telephone call. And that meant that I had to turn around and go back. They said, wait, there's somebody pick you up, but I couldn't wait. I needed to go back and see my son.
And that was within, what would you say, about maybe a 20, 30-minute time frame from the time you had left? He was standing out at the car till the time he actually passed away.
Right.
Okay, well, I will say, because did he die instantly, or was it a little time in between?
It was a little time. He waited on me to get home. I asked him the question, would you like for me to get, the ambulance was there, they had the ambulance there, would you like to go to the hospital? He said no. He did not. He was getting slurred, his words was not good. And what I do have to say today, that please, everybody, love your children. It is very hard.
Okay. And so from that time until now, how would you say that you've really dealt as far as with all of this that has occurred? I mean, did you have as far as, of course, I mean, we were there for you, I mean, for a time frame, just by me knowing you personally and everything, but as far as the grieving process, do you still have bad times as of now, or do you feel like as if that you've kind of moved past some of it, or is it just depending on what may trigger something with you?
Well, the truth about it is, I couldn't have made it this far without Jesus. I was hurting, and I'm honest about it. It's a hurting thing, and the way I made it, I talked personally to Jesus, and I told him, don't nobody down here know how this feels, but you knows. You can say, I got sympathy. He gave me the strength. I have my days even now. This is the time that my son passed is coming up in my anniversary. And I have my days. But without Jesus, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have been able to pastor a church and stand up before people with a heart hurting. I was hurting, and you are hurting when you lose a child. Some people go to drinking, smoking weed, and a lot of things, but I got close to God. That's where I got.
Okay. And so tell me this right here. When it came down to your children, now one thing I did ask you about when I invited you to be able to come, you stated to me, I asked you, well, I'll put it like this. I asked you about your kids, and I asked you what was one of the biggest things that you feared. You stated to me that you've always feared that you would lose a child.
Well, to tell you the truth today here, I had a dream when my kids was young that I was going to lose one. I knew the one I was going to lose, but it wasn't him. It wasn't the one that I had to dream. The one that I seen, they didn't go. They still here. It was that son.
So you thought you...
I knew that I was going to lose one, but the one that I seen in the dream, it was not. So it was not that one, and I don't ever tell nobody who it was.
Yeah.
I don't want my children to even know that I.
Yeah. But you was thinking that it was going to be this other one, and it turned out to be your oldest son.
My oldest son.
Firstborn child.
Right.
Wow. Wow. And so, what would be something that you would like to be able to, as far as just leave as, well, I'll say it like this. What would be something that you would really like to express, if you could say with your son as of now, if he was sitting here with you? I always ask that question. That's okay.
I loved him. I loved him very much. And I was a mother that I raised him along. I was married, yes, I was. But I would tell him I love him. And I did. I showed a lot of love to my children. And I give them my best. I worked hard, and I can tell anybody, whatever you do, tell your children you love them. And you be there for your children. They may not be the best children And they may have problems in their lives that upset you. But please don't turn your back on them, because God didn't turn his back on you. And that's the one we have to be. Today, I may be a little emotional, but this is his time that he left. And David did not know this. Well, he did know it, but it was okay. I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do it. I want to be out there to help others, to tell them that Jesus, that same Jesus that done it for me, is able to do it for you. And what he done, he made me stronger. He made me better. I trust him with my heart. I really trust him.
Yes. Now, Miss Ann, you were a part of her life at the time when her son passed away.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And were you able to share any things with her, considering the fact that your daughter had already passed?
Yeah, just encouraging her. I remember, I think she had a service at the church, and at that time, my mom had just really grown to love her, and she was here from Portland.
Yeah, yeah.
And we came to that service that she had, and was just there, knowing that we were there and supporting her. Because my mom said, "Yeah, we got to go."
She said it.
Yeah,
That's right.
she said, "Yeah, we got to go." So just being there, and with that, our relationship is that we call, and I thank her for calling and encouraging me. I'll call and encouraging her, even
Right. That's
how
right.
God, it's amazing how God, when God puts somebody in your heart, you come say, "Hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm praying with you," and just so I thank her for just praying with me, and just us bonding together and being together, knowing that we're always there for each other, just to
right.
strengthen each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even have to say anything, but just show up.
Yeah.
Just, "Hey, I'm here. What you need?"
Gotcha.
So yeah, so just being there. For
So would you
encouraging.
say that this right here has been something that has really pulled you guys closer together, even though you've known each other for pretty much almost 20 years?
Probably,
But
yes.
but would you say that this has been something that's pulled you together
Yeah.
by
Oh,
both of
yeah.
you being parents that have lost loved ones?
Yes,
Right,
yes,
that's right.
definitely,
Wow.
definitely. Because really, you don't. Because really, I've never really talked about
Yeah.
Alicia's death. Just
So this was really like your
Talking
first
to
time to
people.
just come and kind of express it
yes,
publicly.
kind of express it
Okay.
publicly. Yes.
Okay.
So it's kind of really, and thank you for inviting me to even to talk about her, because this is a healing. It's a healing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's all
Yes.
about. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take another commercial break. And when we come back, we'll get our final words and conclude from there. We'll be back right after this.
Thank you.
Welcome back once again. So, as we conclude on today, I wanted to ask you, Miss Ann, what would you like to be able to leave as far as with our audience, if you could leave anything with them based off our topic of what we discussed on today?
Just leaving with you knowing that through whatever test or trial that you're going through, that God will see you through it. God will see you through it. He'll give you the strength to go through it. And I believe her time, God has a time, and it was her time.
Yeah.
And maybe she knew, because she began to kind of distance herself. She'd say, "Mama, go find you something to do. Mama, go," and I'd be like, "How come you're not answering your phone today?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know, or whatever."
So it's like she was in the hospital and still telling you to.
No, this was even before the accident.
Oh, even before that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I began to feel like, okay, well, how you kind of get certain feelings, but I wasn't really understanding that. But maybe in her own way, maybe she knew
That it could be coming
yeah,
close.
that yes.
Okay.
So just love your children, be there for them, and hold on to God's hands, and He'll give you strength through whatever you're going through.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. All right, and Miss Ella, same thing, same question. What would you like to leave as far as on today, last words with our audience? Anything you could tell them?
I would like to tell them that to look like a minister Ann says, is to love your children and forgive them for things that they are doing even now, and to just love God, because things happen within our life that we don't want to happen, but we have to trust God and move on, because He's the man.
All righty.
Yes, He is.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much it. There you have it. So we're going to take one more commercial break. And when we come back, I'll give you guys closing remarks. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back once again. Today we've had a story that has been very impactful, I feel like, and it's going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. I want to thank everyone for coming out and just being a part of our show, especially our special guests that shared their stories with us. Until next time, let's talk, let's listen, and continue to love. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you.